myself and
Right.
Mr. Dekowski
Parks and
and
Rec.
Ms. Olson will be there.
My suggestion is the Park and Rec Commission go back to the Village of Romeo and ask them just to have it assigned without guarantors from the townships.
Well, in Washington too, they were talking about that possibly maybe the village was gonna come up with an, instead of the dollar, do you know what I mean? That would be their liberty to say, well, this is how much it's gonna cost a month for Parks and Recreation and Star to remain in that building. So that was an option, or a thought process that they talked
Did
about.
Washington state who they were gonna have reach out to the Village of Romeo? Was it gonna be Siebert, Bob Siebert?
No, nope, I didn't hear anything like that, so just that there's gonna have to be further discussion.
Okay. Well, thanks, Clara.
Can I stand up, Mike?
Sure, Janet. Come on up there. You're heavily involved in Parks and Rec.
Yeah, I've been involved in Parks and Rec. What can I do as a resident of Bruce Township to help make this go smoothly? You know, I'm a firm believer in Parks and Rec. I grew up in this town. I am a huge supporter of Claire's. I do not want to see this go. My grandchildren, my autistic son belongs in these programs. This can't go away. I mean, it just can't. We've got to do something. I have applied to Mike to be on the commission to help this. We cannot let Parks and Rec go away. There's just too many things involved. I've got my family going out to do the build at the park with the park things. I have my kids doing other things. What can we do?
Yeah.
To me, it comes across as it's being more of a, let's come to the table with the village regarding altering the contractual language. And to me, wouldn't that be a discussion between Bob Siebert and the village attorney?
So they've already had, obviously, a conversation. That's why we have the document in front of us, because Bob Siebert actually basically told the village that you don't really need this guarantor, and they insisted that we have a guarantor, so.
Yeah, it was the village insistence to do this.
Was it Mark Clark or the?
I don't want to, I don't know exactly for sure, but I know there was discussion
And who
between.
that was.
So I agree. I think that if we just can get the Village of Romeo to not, to eliminate this guarantor, I think that we've already signed all the.
So my suggestion, if you want to fix it, call the Village of Romeo and ask them, or if you asked what you could do, call the Village of Romeo and ask them to remove the guarantor from the townships, and I think it would probably go.
Yeah.
I mean, that's really what the issue is.
My uncle started the Parks and Rec. If you know him, R.J. Brainerd.
Yeah, he's a name, a legend.
He's rolling in his grave right now.
Yes,
Let me tell you that.
absolutely.
So everything else has been signed. Both boards have already agreed on the previous assignment and all the documents that we had, so it was basically, we were done. It was just a matter of basically signing the other, or approving the other lease on the old camera studio. That was the only thing that was a holdup. So, okay. All right, thanks, everybody. Other than that, we're at the point of communication.
Oh, yeah.
Anybody have any communications they want to share?
Yeah, I did.
Go ahead and start us out, Mike.
Okay. Just to let you guys know, the Planning Commission, we had an election of officers. We're continuing with the same officers that we had for the next year. Ed Cupits as chairman, Jared Vincent as vice chair, and Connie Chapman as secretary. 156 East Gates did come back to us. There was a lot of discussion, as there usually is with that subject. I'm sure you guys remember 156 East Gates with the House and proposed RM1 rezoning. They came in with a list of conditions, and then there was a lot of dialogue with some public input and with the board. And what we did is we gave what was unfortunate is the conditions that they brought in were inconsistent. We've had a number of work group meetings with the developer, and they were not consistent with what we talked about in the work group. So we gave, but based on the dialogue, they seemed flexible enough to change. So we gave them an opportunity. We tabled it. They're to come back with some revised conditions, hopefully that are more in line with what the work group could discuss, and we might be able to bring this thing for a landing. So it won't be It might be coming to us in October, but it all depends on what happens at the October Planning Commission meeting. And then I do,
Nice, Mike, thanks.
I'll talk to you offline on a different issue. The email out for several days, is that something that's been resolved? Do we know what caused that?
Power outage.
Power
Yeah,
outage.
it's been resolved, but we won't ever get back what we lost.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, and we don't know what we lost, of course, so,
How many
Yeah.
emails, you got any idea how many emails were actually technically lost?
no idea.
Yeah, I only worked for a big company, so if an email was out for an hour, people were screaming.
No.
So, I mean, in our little operation, we don't affect the world as much as a big company would, but still,
The
that's
issue I got
an
is-
inordinate amount of time to be out.
I have the slight issue that it took so long to diagnose what the problem was. That's what I don't understand, is why did it take him so long to find out that we had 2 servers that were bad when he was out there the week previous, and we went another whole weekend without any emails?
Yeah.
That I think it should have been, and again, I don't know if he's charging us block hours for those times that he was there and not making proper diagnosis, but I think that that's something we should maybe look at. I know that Dana's our IT lady, but it took him a long time to figure out what was wrong, 12 to 15 days without
What-
email.
What we might want to do is, as a leadership team, you guys, to think about is maybe having our IT committee come in with what's the corrective action, so that this type of thing with an outage won't happen again.
They are
Oh.
working on that, and it just
Okay.
wasn't, the presentation wasn't ready for tonight, so I'll
Okay,
make sure
thank
I-
you, appreciate that.
And the other question I have, none of these costs are insurable,
They, well, I
will be
I
covered?
put in a claim.
Okay,
I'm
Yeah.
waiting to hear. Haven't actually gotten the bill from High Tech,
okay,
but yeah, I've started the claim process.
fantastic, thank you, Susan.
And also Frank had a claim with the cemetery, so,
Okay. Did we have a lot of damage at the
Well,
cemeteries?
there's a tree that's on the neighbor's property that fell, and part of the tree landed on the Bruce Armada Cemetery fence on the east side of the cemetery, the east fence. And it damaged the bar, the top rail that goes across. I did get a price for a landscaper to come out and cut our side off away and haul it away and stuff. That was $600. I don't know what the damage is in fence yet. I'm still waiting for a quote on that, but we have a $1,000 deductible. You know, so if it's gonna cost $400 just to replace the top rail on the fence, because right now, that's what it looks like is damaged, might as well just not even file a claim,
Right.
because it's
Right.
just gonna jack up our rates.
right.
Yeah.
Any other communications, Mike?
No, thanks for that update on the email.
Somebody else? Frank, you got some communications?
Yeah, we're gonna have a blood drive on Thursday, December 1st, here at the hall. I think, I put it on Facebook, as an event. If you haven't already, you can like us on Facebook. Our Facebook page is Bruce Township, Macomb County. And there we put all the updates as far as, you know, what's been happening with the water, reminding people of taxes. We've been kind of trying to educate people on where the tax dollars go. We promote the local businesses in our community. And so that's it. It's on Facebook, the blood drive.
Yeah, Frank, just some feedback on the blood drive. I was here for an 8 o'clock appointment for the one we just had,
Yeah.
and they were very, very late, and I had another appointment to get to by 10. They weren't even going to be ready until like 9:30, and there were,
Yeah.
myself and 2 others walked
Right.
out at the same time, like at 8:45.
Yeah.
So-
So that blood drive was not supposed to happen here. It was supposed to be, I think, at the Masonic Temple. And because of some error in their scheduling, they called me a couple days before and said, hey, can we use your township hall, you know, boardroom? And I said, yeah. I looked, it was open. I said, absolutely. They said, okay, we'll get back to you. We're gonna see if we can find another location as well. So they called me back the next morning, said, we need it. And I said, okay, come and set up. They asked, you know, how soon we can get in there. Originally, I told them 8 o'clock, but then they said, well, we need to get in there early. Is it possible to get in at 7? I said, absolutely. So I got here that day, about 10 minutes before 7, and that's when they started unloading their trucks.
Yeah, they
So-
were just very, very late,
Yeah, so I
unprepared.
don't know what the holdup was.
So with
I
the
mean,
blood
room was
shortage, they
cleared
lost
out
3
for them.
pints.
Yeah.
They lost at least 3.
Right, yeah, the room was cleared out for them and everything. I got here at 7 like they requested.
I'll give them 2 in December.
Oh, yeah, right, there you go. I'm not giving you mouth to mouth.
Do we have any
I'm gonna
say-
die.
Do we have any say regarding if we can offer, or what our donors are able to donate, such as platelets? I mean, there's a very tremendous need for platelets.
Right.
They're not able to be held as long as just blood donations. And it's very limited as far as accessibility and where you're able to give those. And I don't know if that's a Red Cross issue or if it's something that we just haven't considered here. I don't
They
know.
do collect
They just
platelets.
didn't have the staff last time.
They
Oh,
advertise whether they're gonna do it or not.
Right.
Okay.
If you go online and register, they'll
Yeah.
tell you whether they,
Yeah, I know, because they've been doing it here for the ones that we schedule.
They were
Yeah.
doing the platelets
Yeah.
and
I
also
don't know about the last time, but I know the time before they were.
Correct.
Yep.
And what's the other one, the red?
Power Red.
Power Red, thank you.
It goes in and out.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's all I got.
Okay, Lisa, you got anything?
Just a reminder of the Parks and Rec Commission meeting is tomorrow evening, 5 PM. And this time it's not at Washington Township, it's at WBRW.
Correct.
So just anybody who's interested in attending, everyone's welcome.
Okay. Susan?
Yeah, absentee ballots are going out the end of the first week of October for the November 8th election. We are going to be posting 2 jobs on the website for the clerk's office, and the cameras that we just voted on will be starting, he's going to start the work next week. And we've gotten a couple calls on some scam that I kind of want to warn people about. There's a text that's going out and calls that are going out about a survey from Bruce Township. We've had people call here and ask if we're doing a survey. We are not doing a survey. It's a scam, so block whoever it is.
Okay.
And don't we have a shredding date, October 8th coming up?
Yeah, when is that?
Yes,
It is October 8th for sure, 9 to noon
yep,
at Morton Street.
yes.
Yep. At 361 Morton Street, it'll be electronics recycling and also a shred day. It's going to be a joint the day what we're doing with the Village of Romeo. So if you're a resident, you got any electronics or any shredding that you want to have done, please bring them up to 361 Morton Street on October 8th between 9 and 12.
Oh, one other reminder too is the Parks and Rec is also having, and they've posted these out on the Facebook pages and their websites. There is a community build day that's going on on October 15th from 9 until noon. And the 2 locations where we're meeting is Washington and Gilcher Park. And it is to build benches and also picnic tables that have been ordered and that will be distributed in some of the park locations. So all are welcome. If you'd like to sign up, you can go to the Parks and Recreation website, and I believe that there will be snacks and drinks provided, but it will also states what if you have any tools available to bring, please join us. The rain date is the following Saturday if we're rained out, so hope you can join us for that.
Gonna be a
as
lot of
well.
fun.
It is gonna be fun. I'll more
I know
supervise.
Janet's
I'm not
coming
good with
already. She
tools.
already made mention, so. Okay. I got a couple of things. The Powell Road construction project is underway, pretty much on schedule. It's basically just northbound traffic, so if you want to do anything on Powell Road, you got to go down 32 Mile Road and then go north on Powell Road. And then you got to exit heading north and you got to get off on 33 Mile Road, so just keep in mind. But it's going to,
Roundabout's quite interesting.
Yeah.
About 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
it's going to just stay that way throughout the whole process. That's what they felt it would be the best way. The
What are they
completion
doing?
date, mid-November.
They're shutting Powell down or
They have.
Well, it's already shut down.
completely shut?
No, southbound.
Southbound is shut.
Shut down.
Yeah, northbound traffic only.
Okay.
So, that'll go till the middle of November. It should be completed by that. The water main, everybody, I think, is pretty much fully aware that we're still in a water emergency, but it's been extended to October 6th. They're having a really hard time disinfecting and flushing the main. It's a lot bigger job than they had originally intended, so, yeah, Greg.
The only question I have is when they do finally get the valves, are we gonna have to go through another water boil scenario, or do we even know that yet?
So the whole part about disinfecting right now is in an isolated area right now where everything from that valve to
The
the
next
pumping
valve.
station is all being chlorinated, disinfected, and they'll flush. They do it at a really high rate on the chlorine. They gotta flush out that high rate of chlorine, and they gotta have do some other testing for residual chlorines to make sure that, water clarity and all the other testing is all stable. And then they can introduce it into the main, but until that time comes, they just can't. And the way they were planning on flushing and filling it was supposedly, like they were saying, was with like a fire hose, and they're filling it with a garden hose, which I don't understand, because they're supposed to have the best engineers working on this, and how they cannot have these things figured out, prior. It just doesn't make any sense to me, but it's coming along, and, everybody's been patient as we.
I had a quick question on that as well. So, right now, we're running off of Romeo's water, right?
No.
They switched us over.
So, yeah.
Put us back on the other water. Will they be shutting our water off again while they transition that, or will we not even know?
So there's a little bit of a discrepancy there. Everybody thinks that when we were switched over, at one point, we were on Romeo's water, but Romeo does have a section of their village which is on also Detroit water. It's not off of Romeo, it's not Romeo's well water system. We have an emergency interconnection with the village of Romeo down at 33 and Powell. We were able to open up our emergency connection between the village of Romeo, and we closed off our connection with the Great Lakes water supply at our 96-inch water main. But we were still getting Great Lakes water from the village of Romeo. The best thing is that they had booster pumps, and they were able to keep our pressure boosted for 70 PSI. That's why you guys experienced such great pressures, for a certain period of time. But after so much time, they brought the pressures up and they stabilized them in a 96-inch water main. Then we got off the village of Romeo. We closed our emergency interconnection, and we opened up our 96-inch valve again, and now we're flowing back on our Detroit water connection. So that's what you guys are on right now.
It's just coming from the south instead of the north then?
Right,
Okay.
exactly. And we don't have booster pumps to stabilize that pressure, so that's why you guys are going to see such strong fluctuations in your pressure right now, so.
Do
And
you
that's,
guys monitor that, so if it does go below that, I'm always concerned if it goes below and we don't know.
we have monitors and there is alarms on it, and I don't technically have it, but I mean, I'm going to be the one that gets the call, but it'll be done through our SCADA system, which is down inside of our meter pit right now, so, yeah. Okay. But yeah, we're currently on our water through Great Lakes water,
Is
so.
it safe to say if you didn't have that emergency connection, we'd be hurt?
It'd be SOL.
Well, we would still be running off of our water main, our current connection, but, it's nice to have that emergency connection because it isolates our system a little bit, and we would like to see more emergency connections go in. And I know they're working with the Washington Township to do an emergency interconnection at 32 Mile Road and by the golf course when that line goes in, and they're doing one basically for the church, for St. Clem's, similar situation, so. And that's gonna be because of Great Lakes water comes from, Washington Township, so they'll have an interconnection hopefully there too, where they can introduce Great Lakes water. So, the Parks and Rec volunteer, Menco Timbers, just wanted to state that we did get the escrow check, all the payments are in, all permits have been applied for and they've received everything, so they're 100% up and running over there.
Consent judgment check is in? Great.
The escrow check for 70,
Super.
dropped off a check for 75,000. I think Frank's office deposited it,
Good deal.
so. Other than that, Chief, what do you got?
I got a couple things. The ambulance that we had remounted will be completed September 29th, so it's next Thursday, a week from tomorrow. We'll have a couple guys going down there to pick it up, inspect it, and bring it home.
Awesome.
Been a long wait on that, but that's one of them. Our fire department open house is October 8th, 11 to 2, so,
Same day as our recycle.
Yeah.
yeah, no, so after recycle, stop in and grab a hot dog and learn some fire safety and meet some firemen and go in and out of the trucks. And we do have water available, so put that on your Facebook page if you're not comfortable. We still have it
Yeah,
for
I
you.
think after tonight, I'm not sure I'm posting on Facebook.
Yeah.
I think my yard.
Spread the word.
I think I'm gonna have a little problem at the house.
Yeah, so spread the word that, we still water.
What's the time for the open house?
It's 11 to 2, Tracy.
Is that the brochure right there, Chief?
Yeah, I got it right here. You want a copy of it?
That's fine.
Okay. And it'll be right here in the parking lot next door to the
Hey,
station.
Chief, how much of that stuff is donated?
Of this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is that donated from Parks and
Yeah.
Rec?
So the bounce house is donated from Parks and Rec. The popcorn machine, donuts and cider are from a vendor.
Okay.
Hot dogs and chips, we usually try to work with Sheena's on
Right.
on something like that.
Is there gonna be a helicopter drop or something this year?
Not this
I was
year.
asked that
No, we're just
question.
gonna probably do an extrication demonstration. So we're gonna
Okay.
get some smashed up cars.
I think it's a great idea, but just a little constructive criticism. If that could come to the board like ahead of time, so that way we can, because there's some things that we might want to bring. I think it's important that we all engage in the community.
Sure.
There might have been something that we might want to bring in. I don't know anything off the top of my head, but, like a work fair, a job fair or something, you know what I mean? Local businesses wanting to advertise their product. I don't know if we want to go that far, but I'm just saying, something to think about.
Okay.
You could think about maybe doing a Bruce Township
Yeah,
open house,
open house.
which
Yeah.
includes the fire department.
Right.
That used to be done
Well, yeah,
under
and I think that's.
prior administration.
Right, and I think they used to, wasn't it all on the same time, the open house?
Uh,
Fire and Bruce Township?
I don't remember, but
No.
I remember Bruce Township
They
used to
just-
have an open house.
Just did it on our own,
Oh.
since I've been here.
Oh, I
But
thought it
remember
was
when
all-
Tiganelli administration was in,
Yeah,
they
but we
did
didn't
open,
really-
they did a couple open houses. Did they coordinate with you
Wasn't
guys?
really much of a joint venture.
No? Okay.
Oh, okay, I thought, that's what I was told.
Nice job on the advertising brochure, too. It looked nice. Had the,
The flyer?
yeah, the flyer.
Yeah, it's a nice.
The flyer's
Yeah.
nice.
Did a good job on
Yeah, I
that.
posted it
Whoever
this
did
morning.
that.
Yeah, thanks for posting it.
Yeah, no problem. Let me know on the water, and I can post that as well.
Yep. That's it for me. Water, ambulance, and open house.
Do you have any updates on, are we still waiting for emergency vehicles from the chip shortage?
Well, it would just be one now,
And do we have any ETA?
our new bill. I'm working on that with the two vendors that are in charge of that, between
Okay.
Ford, Kodiak, and Braun.
So we're just short one vehicle at this point?
Correct.
And what was the time frame that we were supposed to
It was
consider?
supposed to be 365 days, but
I was gonna say for the next, maybe given we should be looking ahead so that we're not waiting and as
We
long
are.
as we did this time, like, let's get it on our agenda sooner than later for the next round of equipment that we need to
right,
consider.
right.
Just a thought,
Get through this last one
yeah.
with where we stand right now with what they're trying to push us back even further, so. I got a letter into them asking to request a meeting with them and try and figure out what's happening with our chassis and why we're getting shoved aside. So I sent Mike the draft letter.
Keep me posted on that. Yeah, it's a shame. What about the, I know there's a couple other items. The letter that was recognized, a couple of the firefighters on the, did you happen to have that with you by any chance?
I do not have that with me, so.
What about Ford, something, maybe possibly Ford
He
coming up in
couldn't
the
make it.
future?
He couldn't make it, yes.
Okay,
We pushed that to next month.
sounds good. Okay,
All right.
very good. All right.
Thanks, Chief.
Yeah, you're welcome.
If there's nothing else, I would like to make a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
All in favor?
Support.
Aye.
Aye. Thanks, everybody, for coming out tonight.
Have a great night, everyone.
I was just trying to get it closer to them, so.
Oh,
it was
it was
sounding fake
recording.
previously.
Oh, I'm sorry.
What's the name of the firefighters, the new firefighters?